Hello traders, good day to you all. This is Christopher Glen from Plus Financial, and this is a daily market review for the current market status. Today it is the 18th of March 2014, and just as I suspected yesterday, we had an enormous amount of liquidity. We haven't had a consistent movement toward a specific direction. The market kept on bouncing up high and lower, around the same levels. We did have a bit of stronger and weaker euro along the way. The Australian dollar gained some strength today without the announcement itself. We can see that we had an announcement early this morning, but the weakness on behalf of the euro and the moving funds from the Canadian dollar toward the Canadian dollar, sorry, and toward the US dollar and backward and forward just caused the Australian dollar to spike higher. My expectation, yesterday I said that I'm expecting the Australian dollar to gain strength. Today I'm saying that I'm expecting the Australian dollar to lose strength. I said that the Australian dollar and the New Zealand are supposed to express approximately the same position in terms of strength and weakness, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. Both currencies, they express approximately the same correlation in terms of position, whether stronger currencies or weaker currencies. Therefore, I'm expecting the New Zealand dollar to lose strength as well. The dollar versus the Australian dollar versus the US dollar is expected to drop down for the next several hours. And we will go over the chart. I want to show you several good potential trades that we've received later when we'll analyze the charts. We've got a variety of other announcements today, as I mentioned yesterday. Another announcement regarding the Canadian dollar is coming up, and another announcement regarding the pound. Bank of England and Bank of Canada are going to deliver announcements to the market. Definitely will deliver some sort of potential. Let's see why we've got a mark over here. Due to speech, you can do, no, oh, I can't see. Okay, 65 minutes after the speaking time listed, it was delayed. Apparently, the press conference, and it's a bit later than what I mentioned yesterday. But still, we've got good potential for both currencies, Canadian dollar and pound, to express an additional liquidity today. Although we've received several good moves today, we've made a lot of profit over here. And tomorrow again, we've got a very liquidized potential day, potential regarding the pound, regarding the US dollar, the Swiss franc, the pound again. Very important day we've got tomorrow. Usually the announcement regarding the MPC aren't really affecting the market. Usually, as you can see, they reflect approximately the same forecast and the previous announcements. Therefore, I'm not expecting these announcements to deliver any kind of liquidity to the market. But the unemployment rate will definitely deliver some liquidity, although we can see that the rate of unemployment in England is really fluctuating around the same levels: 7.2, 7.1, 7.6, 7.7. Nothing really special is going on over there in terms of unemployment rate. The only truly important announcement that I'm expecting to deliver a different expression than the forecast is the count change over here. As you can see, usually it delivers some sort of change to the market, and according to that we can trade. So let's go to the chart. Let's see what we've got for today. There we go. Okay, today, not like other days, I won't analyze a specific asset, but I'll go over specific assets that I see potential trading them. First of all, let's go over the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Oh, I see a very good potential over there. Let's see that euro dollar Canadian. There we go. Okay, so the dollar versus the Canadian dollar, again, according to an Elliott wave analysis, is basically forming a lot of, it's formed a lot of corrective patterns along the way for the last half month, 30 days. And I can tell you that lately we've received a very nice structure of impulse movement, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. 5 moves climbing higher. And since this top, we've received a pullback of an A pattern, a B pattern, and a C pattern. Basically, my assumption is that we will see the dollar versus the Canadian dollar climbing higher. And I remind you, we've got an announcement regarding the Canadian dollar coming up. Then combining 1 plus 1, we can say that the potential right now, an outcome of the announcement that we're expecting to see from the Bank of Canada, is to express weakness on behalf of the Canadian dollar, which will express strength on behalf of the US dollar. Now, I can't really reflect this potential on the pound's announcement, but we will analyze the dollar versus the pound in a second. Just to give you some sort of perspective, I think that we will see the dollar versus Canadian dollar climbing up very nicely, even toward the 1.13. That is approximately the target that I'm expecting this asset to climb up, 1.13. That will be a very logical uptrend movement. And around this level, the 1.13, I'm expecting the market to twist, to change its direction, to diverse its movement, because again, on the long term, we can see that we had a very nice structure of 5 waves. The 5th wave will complete at 1.13, and then we will see a pullback, a downtrend movement on the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. This is my assumption and my analysis regarding the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Let's go over other assets. As I said, the pound versus the US dollar is a very interesting asset as well. We saw that we had a very long impulse movement. Again, let's add the Elliott wave instrument. It's basically analyzing the volume of movements, the movement per time. So we can see that we had 5 moves over here, according to the strength index. We had a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5 climbing up, completing a 5-wave cycle. We had an A pattern dropping down, a B pattern climbing up, and a C pattern dropping down as well. As you can see, and that's a very nice pattern reflected through a corrective pattern. The market is basically bouncing backward and forward around the same levels, just supported resistance line. It formed an A, a B, and a C pattern. Now we can expect to see a completion of this corrective pattern over here. It's a logical pullback, what we're seeing over here, and I won't be surprised if this chart will eventually climb higher, meaning that I do expect to see weakness on behalf of the Canadian dollar on one end, but on the other hand, I'm expecting to see strength on behalf of the pound climbing high on this chart. So a bounce and a cross beyond the trend line will ignite another uptrend movement that I do expect to climb toward the 1.68, 1.7 even. Let's look at a larger cycle. Let's see what we've got over here. No, I need to go back into the large drop down that we had since 2007. Because of the crisis that we had in the United States. Let's add the Fibonacci retracement. There we go. And there we go. That is my mistake. Just 1 second, I'll fix that. We're not analyzing the entire structure's downtrend. We're analyzing the pullback of the 3rd wave, which is this area approximately. Okay, so we can see that generally the market did reach the 50% level. Now the pound versus the US dollar is known as a currency pair that loves the pullback of a 50%. And I can say that we're approximately at a logical range over here, but again I do expect to see a bit more uptrend to cross this line, and for the long term to stay between the 1.75 till 1.68. That is the logical range of a pullback and the beginning of a downtrend movement, expressing stronger dollar in the market. That is my expectation from the pound versus the US dollar. But at the moment, we do expect to see an uptrend on this move. So, as I mentioned before, analyzing the potential for the next announcements regarding the Canadian market and the England and the and UK Bank of England, I do expect the Canadian dollar to lose strength, expressing an uptrend on the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. And I do expect the pound versus the US dollar to climb higher, meaning that I'm expecting the Bank of England to express good information regarding the pound, good potential in terms of economy, and that will highlight the potential in front of other investors that would like to invest toward a stronger pound in the market. A bit of diverse communication, but I want to show you something. If I'm saying that my assumption is that, again, I'm looking at all currencies, US dollar, pound, and the Canadian dollar. If I'm saying at the moment that according to the Elite Wave Analysis Festival, we're analyzing the market according to announcements. We had potential for expressing strength and weakness on behalf of the pound and the Canadian dollar. And we're analyzing the strength potential or the weakness potential in front of the US dollar. So I've analyzed both assets, and we saw potential of a stronger pound in front of the US dollar and a weaker Canadian dollar in front of the US dollar. This potential is automatically expressing a potential to combine both currencies. In this case, it will be the Canadian dollar, which is expected to deliver weakness, and the pound, which is expected to deliver strength. So pound versus the Canadian dollar. Let's go to this asset and let's analyze the potential over there. Okay. Again, I'm going to analyze that on a longer period. As I said, my expectation is an uptrend movement, and we can see this structure forming a very nice structure. As I said, analyzing that several times according to the Elite Wave Analysis, impulse movement climbing higher, and we've received over here an A pattern, a B pattern, and a C pattern. Let's go to a lower time frame and let's see what this scale is really expressing in terms of structure. Again, let me add the Elliott Wave instrument. Okay, so we've received three large movements over here. 1, 2, pullback, 3, 4, pullback, and 5. Meaning that this is 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. 5 movements climbing higher, that's a 5 impulse movement higher. We've received an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave is dropping down as well. Again, if you'd like to be a bit more careful with your investment, I would advise to take a position of a long position for a stronger pound in front of a weaker Canadian dollar once we will cross this trend line. Cross beyond the trend line will begin another impulse movement toward a stronger pound in front of the Canadian dollar, and that will be the preferable asset to trade on. As I said, combining three assets, understanding which one is possessing better probability, and then taking trade, it's just an easier way to locate potential trades. From here, from Plus Financial, I wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant day, and bye-bye.